Hey friends, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Janine and on August 8th I delivered boy-girl IVF twins. They did spend 36 and 38 days in the NICU and have been home now for 4 weeks. So this video is just going to recap how Kevin and I are doing, just adjusting to them being home, post NICU life, and then how their 8-week appointment went with their pediatrician. Let's start with me. As I mentioned, I'm almost 9 weeks postpartum and my C-section recovery went really smooth. I have nothing else to compare it to, but I think by me staying hydrated, me staying ahead of the pain and taking my pain meds when I was in the hospital and wearing my binder right after I got out really helped. So my incision looks really good. I am still numb, a little, about half an inch below, but an inch above it. It's definitely an interesting feeling because I can touch it and feel that I'm touching it, but the skin itself just feels still kind of numb. I did go to my 6-week postpartum appointment with my OB and all my restrictions were lifted. I do have a shelf over my scar, so there's skin that sticks off, and I think that's just always going to be there, but it's covered by my underwear, so nothing I can really do about it. Physically, I'm doing pretty good. I do miss running. I need to get out and start doing something, some cardio, some activity, even if it's just low impact, because the other day I was cleaning the microwave and just from having my arms up and scrubbing, I got tired. I come up 3 flights of stairs and I'm tired. And it's just because I haven't used my muscles. I didn't do anything and I haven't done anything for almost, 4 or 5 months now, so I just need to rebuild it back up, and I am looking forward to that. The first couple weeks I definitely was more emotional, but a lot of that had to do with the fact that they were in the NICU, and it was exhausting driving to the hospital every day, sometimes twice a day. Sometimes I was there for 6 to 8 hours in a stretch, and then other times we were only there for 3. But NICU life is intense, and I might do a video on that whole experience in the future, but not sure yet. Kevin is amazing. He's always checking in on me, making sure I'm okay. We communicate really well anyways, so anytime I was feeling something, I just always told him. I never kept anything to myself, and I think that really helped us work through, going through the NICU process, bringing them home, and all of that. It's just been a big adjustment, but he's been so great through the whole process. While we were in the NICU, I did not get to nurse as often as I would have liked because babies don't learn how to suck, swallow, breathe until around 34, 35 weeks in the womb. And so since mine were born at 32, it took them a bit to get to developmentally be where they needed to be. And then even then, it was a process. And one of the ways you can get discharged from the NICU is you have to be taking all your feeds through a bottle. So I wasn't nursing as often or trying as much when we were in the NICU because our focus was getting them off of the tube and getting them to feed through the bottle. So it's kind of a catch-22 because you want to nurse, but you also need them to take the bottles to get you out of the NICU. So since we've been home, the last about week and a half, I have been exclusively pumping and only trying to nurse when they're giving me cues because it's mentally and physically exhausting, the homework that I was given in order for us to be able to nurse successfully. I'm going to create a whole video on that later, but I just wanted to touch on it here that it is part of, I'm still working through that, but I am pumping every day, 8 times a day. I'm getting anywhere between 40 and 45 ounces. So they are getting all their feeds, breast milk from me. So even though we're not nursing, they're still getting all the benefits from me. And to talk about them, oh my goodness, they are doing absolutely amazing. So Mira came home at 36 days, and the first 2 nights with just her, we had the snooze in our room here, was where that pack and play is. We had them set up here, and neither of us got any sleep because she was just waking up and we were rotating. We kind of knew that it wasn't going to work this way, but we wanted to see how it was going to be when Miles came home. And then Miles came home at 38 days, and that first night was just terrible. We ended up moving the snooze out of the bedroom and set up this whole thing in our living room, and now have a whole process and a system in our living room. I will do a whole video, and I'm going to do a nighttime routine video as well on that so that I can share, what's been working for us. We're getting anywhere between 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night each, so it's working. They're doing great. We had after we brought them home, they had their first pediatrician appointment where we saw they were out on the growth curve and they were both gaining weight great, so they weren't worried about that. And then we scheduled their 2-month appointment. So we actually just had their 2-month appointment 2 days ago. And same thing, they're gaining weight, so they're on their growth curve, they're doing awesome. They did get their vaccinations, which would hurt my mama heart because their little screams when they realized what was happening was very hard to hear. But they did good, they did great. They were very sleepy yesterday, but today they're back to normal. Miles is eating 2.5 ounces every feed, and Mira's eating 2. He weighs 8 pounds and 14 ounces now. And considering he was 4 pounds at birth and got all the way down to 3 pounds, and I think he's either 5 ounces or 3 pounds, 8 ounces, but he lost a lot of weight the first couple days, and now he's almost 9 pounds. It's just insane. And then Mira, who was 2 pounds, 8 ounces when she was born, she got all the way down to 2 pounds the first couple days in the NICU, and now she's 6 pounds and 10 ounces. Like, she's almost 7 pounds. She officially is out of preemie clothes and diapers, so now I'm gonna have to get rid of those. I am gonna donate most of the preemie zip up onesies back to the NICU because, you know, parents most of the time aren't prepared that they're gonna end up in the NICU, and so those first couple days they may not have any outfits, and so it's just nice to have something that you can put on them. They definitely spit up a lot, and it was worse when we were doing NeoSure. NeoSure is a type of formula that has additional calories in it to help with the weight gain. Most preemies, they're on NeoSure in the NICU, and then they're on NeoSure when they leave the NICU for anywhere between 3 to 6 months. Luckily, our pediatrician said they're doing so great on the weight gain that we can stop NeoSure altogether and just fortify my breast milk with some formula to give them a couple extra calories each feeding instead of one serving of a big feeding, because those NeoSures are really hard on their stomachs and they were spitting up so much more every time they would have one of those feedings. They absolutely hate bath time. They scream their heads off. We do them on separate days just because it is such an ordeal. We're trying to find out the right flow, the right order of operations to help bath time go better, but we're still struggling with it. We need to start giving them a bath every other day because they are spitting up more and they're getting more active. They're just getting a little bit more stinky. Mostly like milk, especially their hands, because they spit up on their hands, and their hands, it's very, very gross. But these babies, what can you do? We don't have another doctor's appointment until 4 months, where they'll get their second set of vaccinations they just got, check their weight gain again, and yeah, then we won't have another one until 6 months. Mira did have, because she was less than 1,500 grams when she was born, she had to have an eye exam twice in the NICU, and she did fail twice because her eyes have not completely developed. After she was discharged, I took her to an appointment where they checked her eyes. Her left eye is fine, but her right eye was still not fully developed. On October 20th, we have another appointment to get her right eye checked, and hopefully it's all developed and looking good. So that's our 8-week update. As I mentioned, Kevin and I are doing really great. We're just working really well together as a team. We've got a system down, and the fact that we're getting, more hours of sleep than most people, I think really helps us. And I just love seeing him with the babies when he's holding them, when he's feeding them. It melts my heart. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe for future updates. Have a great day.